What you're about to see is a reinterpretation of how energy, frequency, and awareness actually move within the human system. For a long time, we've been taught that the higher states of consciousness mean faster vibrations and upward movement. But if you observe your own experience closely, a different pattern begins to emerge. These next visuals invite you to question that model and to explore a shift from reaction and intensity into stability, coherence, and true presence. With this first image, I'm going to explain the reversal of the chakra system. Look at this model for a moment. This is what most people have been taught, that the higher you go into the chakra system, the higher the frequency becomes. That spiritual elevation means faster vibration, more activity, more upward movement. But if you really observe your own body, your own experience, something doesn't quite align. Think about moments of intense excitement, fear, adrenaline, passion. What is really happening? Your system speeds up, your heart rate increases, your breathing becomes faster, and your thoughts accelerate. This is all high frequency activity. But where does it all begin? It doesn't start in your head. It rises from the body upward, from the gut, from the base, from the instinctive layers of your being. This energy moves bottom to top, not top to bottom. So already the model begins to break. Now consider the opposite state: meditation, stillness, deep calm. In those moments, your system does not speed up, it slows down. Your breath becomes long, your heart stabilizes, your thoughts soften, sometimes even disappear. This is not low energy, it is coherent energy. It is a slower frequency, but more stable, more unified, less fragmented. Ascending to a higher frequency equals faster oscillation is misleading, because fast oscillation is also instability. It is reactivity. It is susceptible to interference. The faster something vibrates, the more it can be disturbed. So if your goal is clarity, awareness, presence, then the direction is not upward acceleration. It is downward stabilization. Not suppression, but grounding. Not collapse, but coherence. The system doesn't evolve by going fast and faster into chaos. It evolves by becoming slower, deeper, and more centered. So instead of chasing higher and higher frequency, the real shift is this: to enter a state where the oscillation becomes so calm, so balanced, that you're no longer being pulled by every fluctuation. That is where perception sharpens. That is where interference drops. That is where awareness becomes clear. In this second image, I'm going to explain the wave oscillation of the life frequency. Now look at this second image. There are 7 waves. From the top, there is the fast, tight oscillations, to the bottom with the slow, wide, almost flat movement. This is not just a visual. This is a way of understanding how you move through life. Most people live in the upper range. Constant ups and downs, fast reaction, emotional spikes, mental loops, up and down, so fast that there's no space to actually see what is happening. When you're oscillating like that, you're not choosing your direction. You're being carried by the wave itself. Every reaction pulls you, every stimulus shifts you. There is no center, only movement. Now imagine something different. Instead of speeding up, you begin to slow down. Your oscillation stretches. The wave becomes longer, wider, more spacious. Something interesting happens. You can start to see the wave. You can feel when you're rising before you peak. You can sense when you're descending before you drop. There's a space between the movement and your awareness. And as you continue slowing down, the wave becomes so wide, so extended, that the ups and downs are no longer dramatic. They're subtle, almost imperceptible. You still experience movement, but it no longer controls you. You're not reacting to every peak and valley, you're observing the entire cycle. And eventually, you reach a state where the wave is so calm, so balanced, that it almost appears flat. Not because life stopped, but because you're no longer being pulled into extremes. There is no good peak or no bad valley. There is only continuity, presence across the entire curve. And from that place, you can still move, you can still rise and fall, but now it's conscious, now it's precise, now it's chosen. So the goal is not to eliminate the wave, it is to expand it, to slow it down so much that instead of living inside the oscillation, you become aware of the entire field. And in that awareness, you're no longer chasing highs or avoiding lows. You're simply there.